Hi, and welcome to the Idea Book Challenge week number 9. I'm again still filming a little ahead, so I'm hoping this works. I did find out one thing today, that you can do the touch on your screen of your phone with latex gloves. I was pretty excited about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do marbling of paper with shaving cream. Yep, plain old shaving cream. Cheap stuff from the dollar store. These are the ones I've done ahead, just because I wanted to see how it worked. These were just some papers that didn't get much more than blocked and blotted on. So I did some dictionary pages. Yeah, it's all pretty bright. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's a good start. Makes a wonderful background. Now they do smell, and there was a few questions I had about some, so I did some testing. Okay, so this one was just, I marbled this side. This side I kind of spread some color to get it in because it's towards the end of it. But I wiped this off with a baby wipe, and it feels a little better. Doesn't feel soapy. These others sort of feel soapy. I would strongly suggest, if there is such thing as an unscented shaving cream, that you get that, because the smell lasts quite a while. I glued this little thing on just with a glue stick. It's kind of coming up there on the corner, but I think it was doing that when I originally glued it. I didn't get any glue, and it has stayed on, and this has been on for about a week. So even though it may sort of feel soapy, images still glue on just fine. So then I thought, well, let's see what else. So on this one, I used a Tombow marker. I don't know if you can really read this, but this is a Tombow, and this is a Sharpie, and this is a Pitt pen, and this one is a Posco paint pen, and this one is a Micron .05. They all worked, and none of them bled, and none of them skipped when I was using them, so it is writable. And then this one, when I did this, there was so much shaving cream and color still in there after doing, a dozen pages. So I just left it. I thought, well, I'm going to have to throw it away probably, but let's see what happens. This is what I got after the next morning. It's much more intense, much more solid, but it's also not marbly looking. But it went through real well on both, and that was just laying it in. So let's get started. This is kind of messy, as you can see. I've got my gloves. I just got a manicure today, and my guy, he'll give me a hard time if I mess up my manicure. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take the shaving cream, and I had to try this out at first because I've never done this, so this may be old hat to many of you, but to me it's all new. I'd seen it, I'd heard about it, but I hadn't tried it. So I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit. You can use as much shaving cream as you want. I figure I've got probably three uses out of a can, so that's 33 1/3% or cents. So, and like I said, it's messy. It's really messy. But you know what? It's so much more fun in the gloves. I can't explain that, but it is way fun. So I guess I can't find anything to wipe it on. I'll have to use baby wipe over here on the side. So we've got the shaving cream in there. A lot of people and a lot of things I've seen when I was looking this up used the food coloring, and that was cool. But I'm going to use these watercolor inks just because I have them, and I didn't pay. They were on clearance when I bought them, so I thought, well, let's use them. So I'm just going to put a few drops, hit and miss, going for a different color scheme. And whatever you do, make sure you always put your lids on before you set them down. We won't go into the details of why, but that's definitely something we need to do. So I forgot to shake this one up. And we'll shake this up. And this one is purple. You know, it doesn't even say it on there. It just shows the purple right there. So I'm gonna put a few drops, or we can do, you know, a lot of drops. And I chose a green. Shake it up a little bit. I have no idea if these colors are even gonna work, but it's something I wanted to try. Got to get past that pink and orange. So I'm gonna put the lid on it. You can take whatever you want. My first try, I used an awl and just drug it through there, and it didn't mix very fast, or at least not fast enough for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this plastic popsicle stick and swirl it. How it, you know, I can do it a little, I can do it a lot. The more you do, the different your pattern is gonna be, and it's just amazing. I mean, even with this, it's kind of blotchy and stuff, but it's gonna turn out pretty cool. So I have a mixture of different things over here, of cardstock and typing paper. And my tray is a little bit smaller than my paper, so I kind of got to get a little curve on it to make sure it gets everything. And then I pick this up like that. And that's pretty much what you get. You may think, oh, that's going to take forever to dry. Well, I use my handy dandy credit card, and I scrape it back in here. And there's very little residue left on here. And what's really hard to believe, even after scraping that, is that it's pretty much done. It's not gonna smear. It's really simple, but it would make a great background. The really cool part about this, you can go right in and do the other side. And I don't have my shaving cream really smooth, so I'm gonna try putting some, when I put it back in there, in some of those empty spots. And you know, after a while it kind of mixes together, but you know, you get a whole lot of sheets out of this. So it's just, I don't know, I think it's one of the funnest backgrounds I've come up with. Well, let me rephrase that. I didn't come up with it, that I've played with. So it's really hard for me to tell whether I've scraped it all off because of the gloves, but at least I'm not getting stained. So that is the basic. Like I showed you earlier, I just kind of set them off to the side to dry. I did dictionary pages. I have this really cool gray cardstock that I purchased thinking it would make great pages run through the printer and stuff, but it's too thick. It won't go through my printer. So I am going to stir this up just one more time. And I've noticed I'm kind of thin, so you know, I could probably add a little more shaving cream, but because when I get up in the morning, I will get my hair fixed and my shower taken, and then my husband's coming home from work and taking me to the airport, and I will be gone for a while. Now, when you see this, I will already be back, or I will be on my way back, but that's where I'm at right now. So I've got a nice mix on this, and you know, even on your hands it's okay because you know, it's just going to be more color and texture inside of your thing, in your paper, your prints. Ew, my background paper's kind of pretty. Actually, I think I actually like it better with just a little bit of a print. And that's coming from it's not even, and it's not picking it up all the way on the whole piece of paper. And I really think I like that a whole lot. I think I'm really fond of these colors. And that gray is really gorgeous. But I've kind of lost the blue in there. So maybe while I'm thinking about that, let's just add a little bit more blue. I almost set that down without being closed. That would have been just horrible. So I'm just gonna kind of drag through here a little bit, very lightly. I'm kind of letting the stick just kind of float. You know, I can get in there and give it some swirls, or I can do it nice and slow and soft. Pick up some of this shaving cream that's kind of not being used and spread it around. Okay. And you never know what it's going to turn out like. You can put it in there and be crazy thinking it's going to be beautiful and it's going to be ugly. But you know what? I haven't done a piece of paper yet that I didn't like. Now this one's going to be a little fuller. And we'll set it over here. And I'll just scrape it off. And if you can notice, I don't know if you can see where I'm putting what I'm scraping off, but I'm really trying to get it in the empty spots of the shaving cream tray. Now you could easily use food coloring and it will dye your paper and it will look great. Or some of that pink and stuff that I did in the last one, some of that was alcohol ink. I didn't realize it when I picked it up. You could use your re-inkers from your stamp pads. I don't think acrylic paint would work as well, but you know what? I haven't tried it, so that doesn't mean it won't work. But these are watercolor ink. As you can see, my colors are starting to mix a little bit. That's when you have to either decide I like it or I don't and start over, or just continue with having the majorly cool colors and the new colors that you're making when you mix this together. So I did not do this on the book page, but I will do one and I will be right back to show you. So I really like this one. This one turned out really good, showing some of the blue. And you can almost see this flower in the center of a field. I mean, it's just great. You're going to see all kinds of things and you're going to be able to do all kinds of things with it. So I will be right back.